everybody and welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Tonight we go across to Yorkshire and we have growls, snarls, shadows and limbs being thrown. Millbank Woods in Yorkshire and Kildale. This account came into me through the website British Bigfoot Research Sighting Reports. And the witness said, I was out walking on Sunday, the 27th of August 2018, and it was around 7 p.m. We entered Millbank Woods at Kildale. Now, Millbank Wood is a peaceful wood, a short walk from Stamner Village, and you can either follow the bridle path or go across the fields to get up to the wood, which lies along the tip of the hill, and it's part of the Stamner Park walking route. Now, the path in the woods, in parts, is a valley, says the witness, with sides that slope upwards, and the path is at the bottom. We walked down the path and then on, down to the waterfall. I felt as if I was being watched once I was down at the waterfall. It was horrible, an eerie feeling. I walk all over, day and night, and this feeling has never happened before. I was with my husband, and we wandered around the base of the waterfall for a short time to give the dog a drink, and then we both sat down. As we were sitting there, we heard a growl, and the sounds of something on the path above us, as if something had walked up above. My dog also heard the noises on the path, and it looked up. A large stick came down at us. We brushed it off at first, as it was a wood, but then something else came down on top of us too. And we sat there for a few minutes, and I felt very uneasy the whole time, as though whatever it was up there was watching us. My husband also felt the same. We climbed up to the top of the path, the same way we'd come down, and my dog immediately picked up on a scent, so I knew something had recently walked up above us within minutes. Now, I live in a rural area, so my dog is used to picking up the scents of animals. He picks up scents of non-human smells, and I can tell by his behaviour. I can't describe the eerie feeling of being watched from the trees. I wanted to leave immediately. The feeling was that bad. And we continued along the path. We heard another snarl and a growl coming from the trees. This was not a dog snarl, nor was it people in the trees playing a prank. The area is very thick, sloping down with trees and bushes and undergrowth. The feeling I had was whatever it was following us along the tree line. The feeling I had was whatever it was following us along the tree line. I told my husband I wanted to leave and go back to the car. He said to ignore it and just carry on. We walked regular, day and night, all over the moors, the woods, the dales, etc. And we've never had this feeling before, nor heard noises like this before. My husband wanted to carry on with the walk, so he was playing it down. We walked further into the woods and more sticks came down at us. It was not winding or raining. The sticks were dead sticks with no leaves on them, as though they were dead ones picked up from the floor. My dog was staring into the trees and no one else was around. It would be hard for a person to keep pace along with us from within the tree line. If it were an animal, it doesn't fit their behaviour. Animals usually run the other way, not follow people. Something was following us. I picked up a large broken branch from the path floor, just in case, and I said we needed to go back to the car. My husband agreed at this point, so we turned around and retraced our steps along the path. We both kept looking around and over our shoulder and heard further growls. The feeling of being watched and followed was overwhelming. We then heard snarling and growling again. I could not walk any faster, and whatever it was following us fast through those trees. It was walking along the tree line. We could not see anything, as the trees and shrubs were thick with undergrowth. We got back to where the waterfall was, and we heard what I can only describe as a very guttural snarling. This time it was on the other side of us, over the river. There was either more than one, or the one double back extremely quick and got across the river. If so, it was damn fast. The river can be paddled across, it's not deep, and we picked up the pace, and the journey to the end of the wood seemed to take forever. The feeling of being watched never went until we were out of the woods. Once we were out of the woods, it was gone instantly. We then had to walk through a field and down a lane to the car for at least 15 minutes. I thought about that incident and questioned it and Googled it, trying to find an answer. The noises were not human, as in someone playing a stupid joke on us. I have a big dog with big teeth, and only an idiot would consider playing a joke. A human could not walk that speed in uneven ground or dense undergrowth, nor double back at speed that fast. There's not a wild animal that I can think of that would follow people. Deer and stags are the largest wild mammal, and male stags make strange noises. But again, they do not follow people. Usually they will stand if startled, and as quick as they are there, they are gone. I see many stag and deer when I'm out. They also don't throw sticks at people. I live in a rural area and walk these woods day and night in the pitch black, and nothing has ever happened like this before. Ironically, after coming home and Googling it, I realised it was a full moon. Whatever it was, it did not want us in those woods, and I will not visit that area again. I was in the woods the very next day walking, but in a whole different area. Never have I nor my husband experienced anything like this before. It's been on my mind ever since, and I've looked into the area, and there are no stories regard anything in Kildale, only the strangest old stories, the Barguest stories, but I have come across an account of a similar experience in Deepgill Woods, which is on the map, and it's about 55 minutes away. Ours was an extremely similar experience, but we did not hear any howls. If you do go to investigate, all I will say is don't go on your own. I will continue to Google, and if anyone else comes up with anything, I would appreciate you contact me. Now, there are some other accounts in the area. There's an actual corridor that seems to be forming, and you'll see from the screen grab on the video that you're listening to now that the sightings that are there. Carlton, Yorkshire is quite close to where this lady is, and in 2011 it was reported to the paranormal database that while moving equipment ready for a raid in the hills around the area, several witnesses reporting hearing growling from the darkness which appeared to follow them when they moved. The witnesses described the sounds as seriously weird, or a cross between a snarl and a howl. And there's also the Deepgill Woods thing that the lady was talking about, and you'll find that on the British Bigfoot research map. Just pop British Bigfoot map into Google and it will pop up, and put Deepgill into the search bar there, and there's hundreds of accounts on there for you to read. And there's another lady not too far away who saw some really strange little creatures in Errington Woods, and that was in this year. This was in January of this year, and she described him as almost like a troll or a boggart or a small hairy man. And she says, and you'll notice a pattern, I regularly take my dog walking in some woods near the village of Newmark. The woods are called Errington Woods. Well, on New Year's Day I was on my usual walk with the dogs when I heard these chattering noises. It sounded like two men muttering, and it sounded to me almost ape-like. I looked into the trees where the direction of the sounds were coming from, and I came across these two creatures both stood near a felled tree. They were about 3 foot tall and covered in tawny coloured hair. They were both males, and I saw male anatomy on one. They looked like a small, primitive human, and one was wearing what I can only assume was a loincloth. They each had a mane of hair down their necks, and they were very muscular, and I got the impression that they were not children or young, they were fully grown men. They were just two little men covered in golden tawny hair. And they stared at me for a few seconds, and I got my mobile out. And my black lab then started barking at them. And as I was loading the camera, they shot off into the bushes, and I had no chance to take a picture. They soon disappeared, and I lost sight of them. Anyway, that's my story as it happened. Thanks for your time, Deborah. So I hope you enjoyed them, and until next time, thank you very much. Good night.